Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV, episode number 348 for Tuesday, the 20th of May, 2014. My name's Robbie Ferguson.
And my name's Erika Lalonde.
Tonight, we've got a great show planned for you. We are going to be taking a look at the latest incarnation of Stunt Rally. It's a free racing game available for Linux and Windows. Brand new version came out 10 days ago. We're going to take a preview tonight to show you that this really makes it a game that you must have.
And here's what's coming up in the newsroom. Road safety campaigners and insurance companies in the UK want to see autonomous braking become law. And the author of Game of Thrones does all his writing using an old DOS computer.
DOS!
A DOS computer. And a new form of strong recyclable plastic has been created by accident. A researcher has been able to create a rough, immersive reality experience using consumer hardware. So stick around for these stories that are coming up later in the show.
Can you say holodeck? Yes! So close! Can't wait to hear all about that, Erika. Thanks. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a fun show.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. Starring Sasha Dermatis, Hillary Rumble, Krista Wells, Eric Kidd, and your host, Robbie Ferguson.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. So great to see ya. This is episode number 348. So hey, if you're checking out our website, www.category5.tv, you want to find all the links that pertain to tonight's show. All you have to do is look for the show notes for episode number 348, and that's your chance to get all those links, all of the details of anything that we mentioned tonight. So head on over there, category5.tv.
And Category5.tv is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here at cat5.tv/tpn and the International Association of Internet Broadcasters at cat5.tv/IAIB.
All right, Erika, we've been following you on Twitter. What's been new? I saw that you are getting into being a little bit of a blogger.
Yeah, I actually, for this semester, it's my last semester for college portion of my program, and what we have to do...
Well, this is part of school.
Yeah, this is actually part of school, okay. And I have to...
Blogging is compulsory.
Yeah, it's actually, I have an internet marketing course where we have to have our YouTube channel, Facebook, really? Twitter.
Can you send them category5.tv?
Pardon?
Does that count? Can you send them category 5s?
I could, because then I'd ace the course.
They'd be like, whoa.
They would be like,
wait a minute.
Like, this is amazing. Like, students are going above and beyond. But
they got their own t-shirts.
Yeah.
Available at shop.category5.tv.
Oh,
like that.
I know. I can't wait until I get one. Oh,
nice little
so
segue
awesome.
plug, eh? Speaking of getting something, that's cool, by the way. I didn't realize this was part of your course.
It's a part of my
Erika
course
on Twitter, and you'll be able to see
everything I'm doing.
Blog and
my blog it's actually called Natural Conscious. It's all based on just new, I guess, natural ways of, I guess, eating food, picking...
Natural ways to eat food.
Natural ways. So, like...
As opposed to putting it up your nose.
With a budget. So, like, so it's like taking, like, doing things that could save you money when you're shopping, buying certain brands that, without reading the...
Frugal shopping?
Frugal shopping, but also eating less genetically modified food and more aims to finding, like, I'm kind of making up a list of in every grocery store. So I'm visiting grocery stores and saying...
In Canada, I would presume.
In Canada, yeah. And so let's say if you shop at Zehrs, which is a grocery store in Canada, then you'll see a list of food that is all on the A+ list of extremely healthy for your body and not as expensive. Because one of my main things about this blog is, you don't have to go above and beyond with your wallet.
Okay, cool. So finding some affordable ways to eat healthier. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Are you getting into recyclables and environmental stuff, or is it all health related?
Actually, more about recycling. Like, I just posted last night about making your own greenhouse for about $50. And
like the greenhouse itself?
A greenhouse itself.
Neat.
By just finding old scrap material and making a greenhouse that can actually... I think it's 15 by 12 feet wide if you had the backyard space. $50. I just posted a link.
Can it be made into a studio? A $50 studio?
A $50 studio.
It would be too hot and humid.
It would be pretty hot. We'd have to be doing our show in the swimsuits.
Yeah, all right.
We'll have a sprinkler in the background.
I just pictured the intro of Baywatch. And it's the Category 5 crew, and
we'll get like
water.
Yeah.
And Lionel's there misting us. So
we have like our own mister.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's also I do posts about just personal growth and health, and it's something that
really cool.
I'm actually happy I get to do stuff that I kind of input in my daily life and to bring it out into school, because mostly in school it's theory. This is what you have to do. It's nice in my last semester I get to be very creative. And my whole mark is based on how good my blog is. We're looking at Google Analytics, learning how to use a lot of programs that I'm not used to. Yeah. So I'm actually really happy about it.
On Twitter, it's Erika Lalonde 1?
Erika Lalonde 1, yeah. Because apparently there's another one.
Oh, but you're number one.
But I'm number one.
All right. So Erika Lalonde 1, if you want to follow her. Of course, you can also follow Category5TV on Twitter, and we follow all of the co-hosts who happen to be on Twitter, including Erika. So if you want to connect with her, that's one way to do it. I had a fun day today. We did the final shoot for the Category 5 upcoming music video, which is coming next Tuesday night. You don't want to miss that. But tonight was, I'll just kind of give you a little bit of inside information, but we had a choir that we booked a venue here in town, and just like Category 5, everybody's volunteers, and it was just amazing to old church sanctuary was open up to us with the stained glass windows and everything. We had the choir there, and they were from Unity Christian High, and they did a fantastic job, and I got my workout for the year doing my silly dance moves and everything for the music video.
You don't want to see mine. But you'll see though.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, and, it was a lot of fun.
I'm sure a lot of people who have been involved in the music video are tuning in tonight, possibly for the first time, so it's nice to see you. I know a lot of people are anxious to see this music video, a pre-release. We're saying this a little tongue-in-cheek because there just happens to be someone in the studio here. Give me the music video. And we also are going to be releasing on Roku a full behind-the-scenes documentary on how this all came about. So it's a music video, but it's a lot of fun, and a lot of people have been involved, and we're going all out with our Roku channel. And so if you're on a Roku, that's an awesome way for you to see how we put this thing all together. So don't miss it. Regardless of whether you have a Roku or not, it premieres next Tuesday night. That's the 27th of May. Very, very excited about that. Also, before we get into our feature tonight, I want to make mention of our mobile site. It's m.cat5.tv. You can scan that QR code with your mobile device, or just bring up m.cat5.tv, and it will bring you to our mobile website. It's got some great features like live streaming for both video and audio, meaning that you can actually listen to the show just like a radio broadcast, so that if you're driving or operating heavy machinery and you want to listen to the show.
I'm usually listening to it definitely when I'm on the train going back and forth on the bus.
Listening to the sweet sounds of Category 5 TV.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, tonight I made a promise. We're going to take a look. We don't often get into gaming here, but sometimes there's something that happens that's pretty exciting. And so us Linux nerds are pretty excited when, you know, gaming gets a little better on Linux. And the game that we're looking at tonight, in fact, is available for both Linux and Microsoft Windows. It's called Stunt Rally, and the latest version is 2.3, the latest stable version. But what's so exciting about 2.3 is that basically the developer has set out to redevelop all 153 tracks of this Stunt Rally racing game. And by doing that, they've created new textures, they've added new, renewed textures and styles to the tracks themselves, but also they've introduced blend map noise and a couple other technical things, like the addition of emissive light, which, as I understand, is if you picture a car in real life and the sun is hitting it, you get a little bit of an ambient glow around the car, right? You see that in reality, but in gaming you don't always get that full effect.
Dark.
So, well, that's the kind of reflective lighting nature of this new update.
Wow, that's really,
as I understand it, which is pretty cool.
Awesome.
So the lighting on the tracks are getting much more realistic, and also they've got dynamic camera movement. So as you're driving, you get a little bit of a camera shake kind of effect, or it might pan around. And we're going to get a look at this game called Stunt Rally, but it is available absolutely free, and it's available through SourceForge. The link is sourceforge.net/projects/stuntrally. So I'm going to take this just a quick moment to show you how to get there. Real easy breezy. This is for Windows or Linux, so whatever system you're on, head on over to SourceForge. If I spell it right, it will be wonderful. sourceforge.net/projects/ and it was Stunt Rally, just like that. Again, the links all show up in the show notes for episode number 348, so you don't want to miss out on that as a resource if you want to just click a link. There you go. So Stunt Rally, there are some screenshots here. I love this kind of gameplay where you've got you know, all these crazy tracks with the loop-de-loops and all that stuff. I've got a little bit of screen flicker. I'm just going to fix that. If you ever have used wine with... There we go. Screen flicker gone. Okay, so look at that. Cool, right?
That looks
It looks like it could be a water park. But no, those are your courses.
Wow.
I'm trying to remember. Was it Stunt Driver or something like that? Do you guys in the chat room, do you remember the game back when I was growing up? We had a game that had a similar kind of look to this, allowed you to build your own tracks, and this is very much like that. It has a track builder. It allows you to do your own stuff. The kids are going to absolutely go crazy for this. And again, because it's free... What?
It's even better.
What? It's free, and it'll run on Windows. Sure, that is great if you're a Windows user, but it will also run on Linux. Now, on Linux, it's a little bit tricky sometimes to get it up and going if you've got an older distro. So if you're running a newer distro that has at least libc 2.14, I believe Ubuntu these days is coming with 2.15, if I'm not mistaken, this being May 2014. And of course, if you're watching this after the fact, then it could be much higher than that. But some of the older distros are going to have an older version, maybe 2.13 of libc. So if you have any trouble installing it, it might mean it's time to upgrade your operating system, and that's okay to do because, you know what, it might be worth it to get some really cool games going on your Linux box. So let's jump back to the website here, close out of this preview, and you can see here that there's a download for both Windows and Linux. And if I click on... Now, I could click on download because it's detected that I'm on Linux and it's going to give me the right file. On the other hand, I can click browse all files and it will show me... I want 2.3 because that's... Remember, 2.3 is where we got all the latest... effects and textures. And so I see the Linux version and the .exe. It doesn't specifically say for Windows, but we know that .exe is a Windows installer. So if you're on Windows, that's the one you want. If you're on Linux, that's the one you want. Should be noted that Stunt Rally is available in your repositories. Eventually, we're going to see 2.3 being the latest stable. It's going to be making its way into the repository. Right now, the version that is in Synaptic Package Manager, Yum, apt-get, any of those, is going to be an older version because this one just came out. I just actually noticed the Windows... Yeah, it was 10 days ago, 9 or 10 days ago that this came out. So, so you want to actually download it, run it on your system yourself. That's as easy as it is to get. As I say, Linux, you may need to upgrade your system. I'll show you what happens, because my system, in fact, I'm running an older version of Point Linux, and I don't have the correct version of libc. So what might happen is you might double-click on the executable, the program that runs the game, and it doesn't do anything. Well, if you're on Linux and you go, okay, well, what does that mean? Why is that? I want to show you a little trick with Linux that allows you to see, and this goes for any program, what's going on. Why didn't it load? So if we jump over to our terminal and go to where we've downloaded and extracted it, because it's a tar.xz compressed file. So I've decompressed it into this folder here. And if I do an ls, you'll see that the executable is Stunt Rally. So /Stunt Rally, which will not run on my computer because, and this is why I did it in the terminal, because it spews out all of these error messages. Look at this. Needs glib 2.14, not found, it's required. So unfortunately my system doesn't have the up-to-date version of glibc. So it's time to upgrade my Point Linux. Absolutely. Zorin OS seems to have version 8, at least, has the correct edition. But of course it also runs on Windows. So I've got it running in a virtual machine, and it's not ideal for a demonstration like this. I'd really hoped that I could have the ability to show you this in real time with full frame rate and everything. But understand that tonight I want to show you the game, and we'll just get a look at it right now. So this is, here it is running. Let's just jump right in. You can see that, you know, going through options and everything, you can go through and set up amazing stuff. I have had to disable some things because I'm running in a virtual environment. I don't have all the abilities that I would have if this was my native computer. So if you're running if you can run this on your computer, perfect. It's going to look fantastic. So with effects enabled, look, we've got blooming, we've got motion blur, which is brilliant for this kind of a game. Soft particles, so that's like the mist coming off the water, the smoke coming off the tires and things like that. SSAO, I am in fact unfamiliar with. God rays, I believe, are special lighting. And depth of field, this is important to me. Depth of field is where the mountains in the distance look fuzzy, where everything up close is in perfect focus. So it gives you that real depth perception, and so the game really feels almost three-dimensional. So that's all a part of this game. I can't enable those things just because of our environment as I demo this for you. But on your computer, you're very likely to be able to do this. I'm just going to jump into a single race just to show you how many tracks. Look at this. How many tracks come with this free game, Stunt Rally. So if I click around, and I can start to see, oh, well, these look kind of cool. And you can see that they just look brilliant. Let's see if I can find one with a little bit. There's like a city. Tubes and tunnels and flips and things. Jumps and stuff. All right, so let's give it a go. I'm gonna go for this. All right. Moment of truth.
I would need a bunch of railings.
So
I don't go off track. The tube would work for me.
Yeah.
That's so cool. like
I have already wrecked it. I was like, oh, I can. No, it's a tube. I can do a flip, right? I can do a flip. No, I'm not.
Let's try to get in.
I'm just not that good, and I need to have more speed. Okay, I can get up on the walls. Look at me.
See, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So this is like a tube one. But hey, I mean, I don't have textures and things enabled. I can't because of just my graphics environment. As I demo this to you, I wanted to have frame rate over quality, I would say. On your computer, you're going to get a much better experience than you're seeing here. But I gotta say, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, you've got the track editor as well. You've got the ability to create your own tracks, and just check that out. Nice. Absolutely free, available from sourceforge.net/projects/stunt rally. And again, this is going to run for you. I've got some weird texturing going on. Again, that's just my environment. That's not going to happen to you, I'm sure. And you can turn up some of those graphic options. So there you have it. That's called Stunt Rally. And we'll have all the links for you again in our show notes for episode number 348.
348.
I know. I just stopped there for a second. 348. Yeah, we're there.
We are there.
Unreal. So check that out. I'm excited to have yet another great Linux game. I mean, they've been around for a while. The game has been in development, and it's kind of been forks of various other projects, but this one has been quite popular. But now with these enhancements, it's really starting to look like a commercial grade game. And like I say, you can download it for free. So hey, why not, right? So check it out. This is Category 5 Technology TV, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. We've got your viewer questions, and of course, if you want to join us in the chat room, it's Category 5 on Freenode. I think, Erika, you're watching that pretty closely as well.
Oh, yeah.
Hi to the chat room. I was just using the keyboard to control there, and I guess there are other controller options.
Would it be
Absolutely.
compatible with other controller options?
For sure. Should I see if I can get back in there and... Sorry, I wasn't watching the chat room, and you got to ping me for these things. Let's bring it back up and see what we find here. The question in the chat room is, what kind of controllers can we use with Stunt Rally? So I'm going into my setup, controller options. Input. It does have joystick support. Looks like. I wish I could show you now. See, I've closed it, so I don't have the ability to show you. Sorry. Steering wheel. Assign. Yeah, it allows you to assign. So what that means is, even if you're if you've got a steering wheel, for example, with the different axes, so you click for steering and you go left, and that's your left, and you go right, and that's your right, and it actually programs it to a custom whatever you're going to be using. So I have the steering wheel. I love it. So cool.
That's great. So if people have steering wheels at home, they can use it with this game.
I think so. Yeah.
Totally.
I don't see why not. See why not. Cool.
Awesome.
So we've got a couple minutes. Let's jump into a couple questions, Erika, if we could.
Oh, yeah. We have a question from Alpec.
Hey, Alpec.
And he says, I love Linux, but I also have a need for ActiveX, which is not support in Firefox. Is there any solution to solve this?
Okay. First of all, ActiveX is specifically a Windows component. Sometimes you run into this kind of thing where it's, okay, Microsoft has created something that's locked down that they want you to run Windows in order to have access to. So why do you need that? Like, what are you running that actually needs that? What comes to mind, Alpec? I'm gonna get onto the search here, and Mozilla ActiveX control. I'm going to say there are three different things that we can do. First one, and they're all going to involve wine, okay? I'm going to be straight up honest with you. Because, again, well, not all of them. The third one isn't. First two options are going to require wine. That's your Windows API layer for Linux. It allows you to run Windows programs on Linux, which is brilliant when you have a situation where you've got a Windows program, such as ActiveX being the DLL from Microsoft, that you can't run natively normally on Linux. So through Wine, you're able to get there. The first thing that came to mind as Erika was mentioning your question is the fact that you're looking specifically for something that will run on Firefox. So what came to mind was the Mozilla ActiveX control. And I'm going to post the link for you in the show notes. I just did a quick Google search for Mozilla ActiveX control. It was the first thing that came up. and this is the site. And you'll see that all the instructions are for Windows, but there are downloads. There it is, a 1.7.12. I suppose would be the latest version, which is confusing when you're used to Linux naming because you think that 1.2 comes before 7, but no, in their case they're naming it 12. It's not the same as. So that's an exe file. So you need to install that using Wine, and that gives you the ability to have this library installed, Mozilla ActiveX Control, using Wine. So that's option number one. Option number two that I would think maybe even, I don't like Internet Explorer myself, and I can see, I can understand why you wouldn't want to put it on your system. However, you've got Wine installed. So let's type in Wine, well, you might need sudo. So sudo winetricks -GUI. Enter your super user password. You know what? I don't want to run this as super user because I'm wrong there. I don't. I just want to run winetricks -GUI. I noticed that because it's creating a new configuration file. I want this installed for my user. So by running that, winetricks -GUI with a space in between the two. Go to, okay, select the default wine prefix, okay, and then install a Windows DLL or component. So that's what we want. Hit OK. And you'll see a list of all these Microsoft libraries and DLLs and programs and everything. So these are applications that you can install on Linux to make it support more Windows stuff. And you'll see that 3 of the options are IE 6, 7, and 8. I'd probably start with the latest that is available through Winetricks, which is IE 8. It's not something I would want to use for browsing. It's not something I would want to use for my internet use. But it may get around your problem, which is I need to get ActiveX working on Linux. So if the particular tool that you're using, the program that is written for ActiveX, is the only thing that you access through that IE 8 on your Linux machine, or perhaps if that doesn't work, try IE 7 and IE 6 and so on. It's the only thing that you're accessing. And then keep in mind, okay, so you think, okay, well, Internet Explorer on Linux, don't we want to stay away from that? Because we generally, the reason that we're not on Windows, if you're a Linux user, is partially because you like security and you like to know that your internet browser is not letting things into your computer like Internet Explorer does on a Windows operating system. Viruses, and things like that. So the thing is that when you're installing it on Linux, it's installed into, I believe it's called a bottle on Wine, and so it's basically a self-contained environment. So yeah, Internet Explorer can get all bogged down and everything, but then you just remove it and reinstall it, and it's done because Internet Explorer is its own thing running in Linux. It doesn't have access to your other stuff. So even if you got, say, hypothetical, a virus or a program like that in your Internet Explorer on Linux, well, it's not actually on Windows, so it can't do anything. It can't get outside of this box that Wine has put it in. So it's pretty brilliant that way. So you still have a certain level of security. So that's the second option. Third option and final option. This is our final resort. Do you know what I'm going to say? It's not going to use Wine. It's going to use a different technology that lets us run Windows programs on Linux. That's called virtualization. So VirtualBox is a free application that's available from virtualbox.org, and it runs on Linux, it runs on Windows, it runs on Mac, and it allows you to install all the other operating systems on whatever operating system you have. So if I have Linux as my host, I install VirtualBox, and then I can install Windows into Linux through VirtualBox. So now in Linux I can bring up Windows. Okay? So then I can run that application that I need, and then I can turn off Windows just like closing another program. There is a feature called Seamless Mode that allows you to then take that Internet Explorer or whatever window that has the ActiveX and put it into Seamless Mode so it looks like it and acts like and behaves like it is in fact a part of your Linux desktop. Right? So you're not bringing up Windows, having a start menu and all that stuff, but instead you're having just that one ActiveX window on your Linux desktop, but it's running in Windows, truly in Windows. So that's the third option that I would say. I wouldn't let something like that hold me back from running Linux. I think that the benefits far outweigh any problems that you may run into. And like I just gave 3 options off the top of my head. So I think there are a lot of ways, Alcat, that we can make this work. So please let us know which one works for you, which you choose. First 2 options being the ones that don't require you to have a license for Windows. The third option, of course, requires that you do own a copy of Windows in order to do it. So good luck. Let us know. Okay. Ready to hit some news?
Oh, yeah. Exciting news today.
All right.
All right.
The sweet news vibes of Category 5 TV. Take it away.
So here are your top stories from the Category5.TV newsroom. So road safety campaigners and insurance companies in the UK want a new type of technology to become compulsory in all new cars. The autonomous emergency braking, or AEB system, uses radar, camera, and laser sensors fitted to the vehicle to detect potential collisions. Matthew Avery is director of the research at Thatcham, the insurance industry's research center, and says AEB is the next seatbelt. He adds, if the driver doesn't take avoiding action, it will automatically stop the car to prevent the crash or completely avoid it altogether. The system works by using sensors fitted to the car which can detect if the car is in front, if the car in front is slowing down or braking sharply. It can then judge quickly if the car needs to come to an automatic emergency stop. Despite the research and the petitions, the Department for Transport has said there are no plans to make the system a legal requirement. The technology has been criticized over its cost, as prices range from anything from several hundred to several £1,000s. There are also concerns it could make drivers too reliant on the technology.
Interesting. I've got mixed feelings about that. I don't know how you feel about that at home. There is one thing that really makes me angry, and I know it's, you know, we're talking about this video game stunt rally. Some people think that it's okay to stunt drive in real life, and it's not okay.
No, like, totally not.
And we just recently had somebody was pulling out of a coffee shop parking lot, and there were 2 people stunt driving on the same street, hit her car and killed her. And this kind of technology could avoid that kind of death. Because that's just, it shouldn't happen in the first place. I mean, those people shouldn't be on the road. But with this technology, if it was compulsory, would it have saved her life? I think so.
I think it would save many collisions.
Certainly. There was also
collisions.
There's the fender
every
benders.
day.
I mean, we got stuck. We were driving to we were getting ready for the music video, and we were driving down Lakeshore today, and somebody rear-ended somebody. And so the whole road was cut off, and we had to, everybody who got down Lakeshore and Barrie had to turn around and go back. So, you know, those kind of collisions, you know, I don't know, whether injuries occurred or not, but they could have been avoided as well. So the inconvenience factor as well could be avoided. So, but is it worth adding another $2,000 or well, it's a couple £1,000, so maybe closer to $3,500 or $4,000 to the cost of a car.
But then in the long run, if you look at, if you take the average number of people who get in small accidents and the average cost of accidents, I think if they took more statistics and they look if they look at that and how much you could save, then maybe if you're a type of driver that's never been in an accident at this age, then maybe you don't need that. But for a younger person who, may not be, slowing down all the way before, and especially I live in Toronto, so it's like, the New York of Canada.
Sure. What you're making me think, though, is that shouldn't the insurance providers underwrite the cost of this thing? Because if you're still paying your insurance premiums,
you wouldn't have to, because of
you'd be avoiding all these collisions that's costing the insurance company money. They would make more money. So in the UK, there's your answer. Get your insurance company to pay the extra £2,000, because they're the ones who are going to make money off of this thing. Makes sense, but it's going to save lives as well. So
And that's the
maybe
main...
I'm not so mixed about it. Maybe that's just too fresh in my mind, and I'm like, you know what? This should have been avoided.
I think if we have the technology now, like using radar on our cars, you know.
Well, and the next logical step is the fully autonomous car.
Right.
So for those who say, no, we don't want this because people are going to become too reliant on technology, well, the fact is, it's coming anyways. Like, you remember, was it Total Recall? Where the taxi drivers were just a robot and you just got in and told the cabbie where to take you and it just drove? Like that, I think we'll eventually get there. I think that we've seen that the technology exists and that it's getting better. It's not there yet, but maybe this is one step in that direction.
Yeah, that is definitely one step in the direction.
Who knows? Who knows? Hey, check this out. Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin has explained why he does all of his writing using an obsolete DOS computer. Because it doesn't correct his spelling. Huh. He said he didn't want a modern PC that amended his writing as he typed. The writer of the books on which the TV series is based first revealed he used the archaic system in 2011. I love that the news stories call it archaic, and yet it was what I grew up with. Speaking on Conan last week, he actually said that he has a second computer that he uses for his internet use. He said that he never feared a virus infection on his computer and deleting his work because he had this secret weapon, DOS. Martin added, I actually like it. It does what I want a word processing program to do, and it doesn't do anything else. I don't want any help, you know? He goes on to say, I hate some of these modern systems where you type a lowercase letter and it becomes a capital. I can relate to that. I don't want a capital. If I wanted a capital, I'd have typed a capital. I know how to work the shift key. Stop fixing it. I like this guy. I like his attitude. I like that he is so old school that he's using DOS. And it makes me think that, okay, while at the first glance, catching the headline, you think, oh, that's crazy. DOS, what, WordPerfect 3.1 or something? And but then you realize, no, well, it's kind of like a typewriter. If I make a mistake, it's there, but I can backspace over it. I feel sorry for his editors who have to deal with old WPD files. Yeah. But hey, if it works, it works, right? Don't break it if it ain't don't fix it if it ain't broke. Get that one right. Okay. This is kind of cool, Erika.
Yeah, I actually totally love this story. So, researchers have developed a collection of new plastics that are recyclable and adaptable. And the discovery began with a laboratory mistake. They include strong, stiff plastics and a flexible gels that can mend themselves if torn.
What?
Dr. Jeanette Garcia from IBM's Al Madden Research Center in San Jose stumbled upon the new plastics when she accidentally left one of the three components out of a reaction. Dr. Garcia told the BBC, I had this chunk of plastic. I had to figure out what it was. I had to smash my round bottom flask with a hammer.
Wow.
That chunk of plastic proved to be tremendously hard and stable. It can be digested in acid, reverting to its original components. This digestion reaction allows the chemical building blocks to be reused. Until now, none of the thermoset plastics could be recycled. These are materials commonly used to manufacture modern cars and aircraft.
Cool.
These findings, reported in the Journal of Science, could lead to cheaper and greener cars, planes, and electronics.
Never a bad thing to find something that can have a positive environmental impact, but I didn't realize that the materials used in the manufacture of cars and planes was not recyclable.
No, you would think it would be, because there's so many of them being produced. This is like
apparently an age-old problem that they need light materials for these things, but it is not. It's like, you know, a blend kind of polymer mix that they can't recycle it, but now to have accidentally discovered, I love that quote. I had this chunk of plastic. I just pictured that's great. Whoops, I just solved this major problem. Have you ever wanted to stand on a holodeck? Like just go anywhere? We're a long ways away from that type of technology. However, Oliver Kralos has combined 3 Kinect sensors with an Oculus Rift. That's that headset. And is able to import a 3D representation of himself into virtual reality, albeit a little bit wobbly, but it's a step in the right direction. The Kinect's video stream is merged before being fed into the Oculus headset, giving the impression of a solid 3D object. In this instance, as you can see in the picture, the object is Mr. Kralos himself, who can be seen in his virtual office.
Wow.
So to him, through the Oculus, he's actually able to interact with this environment. And when he holds up his hand, he can see a distorted but obvious hand where his hand is, which is pretty incredible. It's low resolution at this point. It's prone to glitches, as you can see. However, it is still in the early stages of prototype development. But kind of exciting to think that kind of thing is at least on the horizon enough. And I think the Oculus headset is at the forefront of making this kind of thing possible.
Like, you remember the movie Gamer?
I have not seen Gamer.
Oh, well, in Gamer, it's kind of... Is
it virtual?
It's not it is virtual. It's using human players.
Oh, okay.
But this, to me, like, I'm just thinking, like, ding, 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 gaming community. Like, imagine.
Whoa. Multiplayer. Like, Unreal Tournament 4.1. Nice.
And would be even better for me if there's girls out there who play video games. When people think you're a 4-year-old boy or a 15-year-old boy or anything, and you're saying, I'm a girl, you'd say, hey, you just got killed by a girl. Like, now they actually know.
That's why this matters to you.
This is what matters.
Look at me. I'm a distorted image of a girl in your face. Well, those are the top stories from the Category 5 TV newsroom.
The Category 5 TV newsroom is researched by Roy W. Nash with contributions by our community of viewers. If you have a news story you think is worthy of an on-air mention, email newsroom@category5.tv. For the Category 5.tv newsroom, I'm Erika Lalonde.
Thanks, Erika. Well done tonight. I want to say welcome to our newly established
viewers.
Awesome registered viewers on our website, category5.tv. Let's take the list. Starting with Fort Wayner. Welcome to the show. Thanks for registering at category5.tv.
We have Ramatic.
Oh, yeah?
Ramatic.
Let's take a stab at that one.
Two C's at the end.
Ramatic. Let's be Klingon.
Trying, but welcome.
Jeffrey, welcome to the show.
And Jared DW. Welcome.
Just draw out the Jer.
Jared
DW. Nice to see you. Nice to have you joining us. I also want to say hey to Mexico City. There you are, San Jose. We heard from you tonight. San Diego. Yuma. Nice to have viewers in Amsterdam and Rotterdam and Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio. Nice to see everybody. Thank you for joining the show tonight. This is Category 5 Technology TV. We broadcast every Tuesday night, and we are live from Barrie, Ontario, Canada. And it's so great to see that we've got viewers all over the world. And lots of you. Thanks for joining us here. Our website is www.category5.tv. If you haven't already been there, maybe you're watching on Roku or Miro Internet TV or YouTube, and you want to check out the show, get to know us, it's category5.tv. Hey to the chat room. Want to say hey to J Blake58 and J Lim. I also see Rob Gore joining us live tonight. Nice to see you, as always. Whiskey Zero, good to see you. Jot and Dave Maydew, Dennis Kelly, Dreamer, Bob K54, Cirrus Minor. Did I miss anybody? I can't possibly
Cool
say hi to all
Dude.
of you. Hey, Cool Dude! Dave26,
Dave.
Albuquerque, Turkey.
The chat room, Tennessee Frank, is saying that you got all the easy.
Did I get the easy ones?
Easy ones.
Nice. Well
Got
planned.
lucky.
You know, Jer wasn't all that hard.
Jared W.
Jer
Like,
DW.
I don't know how you wanted to pronounce it. It's already bad enough.
All right. Hey, we've got a couple more minutes left for some more of your questions.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Actually,
we're live interactive. If you're new here, we've got a chat room, Category 5 on Freenode. It's a lot of fun. Join us during a live show. Interact with the community and with us here.
yeah, and if you have any questions, I'd love to answer it in the chat room.
Hey,
And
Apple Polar Bear. Just saying hi, Albuquerque.
Hi, everyone. Oh, so that's how
Hey, Reggie
ABQT...
Albuquerque, Turkey, yeah.
Okay.
It's like a license plate number where you got to guess.
Oh,
ABQTKY.
I just got when people did the G and then the great, so they do the G8, so like great and like GR8, and I just got that this year.
There you go.
But we actually have a bunch of viewer questions.
We will do our best.
So we will do our best to get through them. But actually, we have a pretty interesting one about the Roku channel.
Oh, cool.
And it's just one, and it's from Bruce Sanderson.
Hey,
And
Bruce.
just for everyone who just started to use Roku, he wants to know how does he accumulate viewer points when he watches all the shows, especially when he watches Category 5.
That is an interesting question. Category 5 viewer points are a really fun way to be a part of the community, because as you interact with us, as you do things on the site, you get more and more points, and then you become, perhaps you are featured as one of the top 10 earners of the week, and you show up right on our homepage with a link to your profile. There are awards that you can win on our website, which are just virtual awards at this point, but we also sometimes send out coupons and things like that to our award recipients. And so it's an interesting question. Okay, I'm on Roku, and how do I earn points? Well, the fact is, viewing doesn't get you any points. What gets you points is to get onto our website, register on Category5.tv, and interact with the site, which is navigating the site. You'll notice that for every day that you log in, you get 10 viewer points, for example. So if you have a registered account, you log in every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you've got 30 points. So it's as easy as that. Speaking of Roku, I'm so excited about this device. I love it. Erika, where's your Roku? Is it hooked up? Is it running?
No. I'm late on everything.
Cat5.tv/Roku. If you haven't got one yet,
I am, though.
You've got to go
so
over
excited.
there. Cat5.tv/Roku is just a quick little write-up that I've done, which takes all of their devices. There are 4 devices right now that are on the current line, and breaks it down and says, here's why you might want this one, here's why you might want this one, what's better about this one. Because fact is you get into these technical specifications on Amazon or whatever, it's like, okay, well, just tell me what I want. And so I've broken it down and said, okay, here's why you might want the Roku 2, but because it will hook up to an older TV. For example, here's why you might want the Roku 3, because it's full HD, connected to an HD TV through HDMI, and has a gaming remote so that you can play Angry Birds. So that's all broken down for you in plain text, and you can buy them right through us, and it supports the show when you do so. Once you get there, you get onto our website, you get you go to the Roku channel store and you add Category 5 TV to your Roku. You can watch live, you can watch on-demand video, and we've got all the behind-the-scenes special Backstage Pass features that you can't get anywhere else. They're all on our Roku channel. So, welcome to our Roku viewers. Get a Roku.
I am.
Get a
I'm
Roku.
Going to.
Okay.
I'm actually
Nothing
really
holding you back. They're
impressed.
really cheap.
Yeah, they are.
They're really cheap.
I'm really impressed with it. I can't wait to get one. It's the one with the not the microphone.
The
headphones, because I like that.
I love that.
I think that's good because then
It's a headphone jack built into the remote control. So you plug in the headphones and you're listening in full hi-fi stereo. Hi-fi, that's an old school word. In full stereo quality. like an MP3 player, but it's wireless, and the range is exceptional too. I guess it's FM because I go upstairs with it and it doesn't lose signal. It's not line of sight, so it's great. So, anyways.
Well, I definitely like that feature to it. I don't have that in my regular TV.
Yeah,
and I like it because I don't have cable, so I just hook it all up together.
So I hope that answered the question. Really, just get onto our website and you'll be able to earn points. As a registered viewer, you've got to be registered on our site in order to accumulate points. And good luck. And once you get to a certain threshold, you'll start to show up on the list as well, and you can work your way up. So you never know. We tend to throw some points your way just for participating in the show. It will happen. Thanks for the question. We digress. What else you got for me, Erika?
Oh, actually, Mr. Naturopathy says in the chat room if he gets any points in the future, he'd like to donate them to Erika so she can get a Roku.
That's got to be worth something, right?
That'll be worth everything. That'll be...
Can you donate
points?
Cash? Because that'll get her a Roku. That'll get us a new camera so that my face isn't in blur. How come your face is crystal clear and my face is blurry? That's not fair.
Normally it's the other way around because I'm so fluorescent. I illuminate light.
Is that what it is? It's the color of your shirt that's doing it.
Oh, really?
No, it's not. Oh. It's the camera.
I'll be wearing...
We need a new camera.
Yes,
so
we do.
We're saving up. Thank you, Jot. Jot always has something to say in the chat room.
Yeah. Well, everyone, it's nice to hear from everybody in the chat room. I wish I could keep up with everybody.
We're getting there.
Getting there.
Okay, you got another question for me?
Oh, yes. We got lots of questions, but we get to one more, or maybe two more, we'll see. So, this is from Dawn. I could not find a way to connect yet in Pigeon, but it did.
Okay.
But I did come up with a solution. So I said I can watch the weekly show live on my Roku and use my laptop to connect to Category 5 chat room.
Yes.
From the website, not the WebSock. Sorry. And we'll try that next week. And he says it's nice to be able to see the video, hear the audio, and see what's happening in the chat room. And he's just saying, as an informative, like he could not find a way to connect in Pigeon, so he came up with a different solution.
And that's cool.
Really cool.
And I love and a lot of viewers do this, where they've got the show playing up on the big screen on the Roku or whatever device it is that you're using, and then you're using a laptop for chat or netbooks or whatever else. Going over to our website, Category5TV, you'll see Interact and then Chat Room. And you'll see Use Our Web Chat Room, which is handy for just using from anywhere. Use Your Own Application. That's what you want to when you want to use Pigeon. But it's like, okay, well, how do I do it? Connect with an IRC client. There's the information, but how does it actually work? Eric and I, in fact, provided a nice little video demonstration here that if you push play on that video, that's going to answer your questions as to how to get things working on Pigeon. I think that's going to get you there. And Pigeon, just so you're aware, for those of you who are going, what? If it's not about food, it's about birds. This is Pigeon. So I've got my chat room all set up, and I can actually see the viewers that are interacting in the chat room and what's going on. It's a really great way to use Category 5's chat room, and it allows you to look back over your conversations and things like that. But it's just an easy way to connect in and be able to use the chat room not just during the live show but through the week as well. So thanks for the email. I'm glad that you've found a way to make it work for you.
From the chat room, Dave Maydew saying I'm using XChat on one monitor and the show on the other.
There you go. So 2 screens. XChat is another, it's an alternative to Pigeon. It's probably Linux based, I would think. And then on the other screen, watching the show. That's kind of cool. So Pigeon with a D.
With a D.
Pigeon.
Pigeon.
Pidgin.
And we have another question from Russell 1.
Hey, Russell 1.
So he says, well, I have a Dell Inspiron B130 with Windows XP. I downloaded the software from Point Linux.
Yes.
What
Awesome.
do I do to install it? And he needs help.
Okay, so you've got
he has the software.
Windows XP right now.
Yes.
Okay, so when you download a Linux distribution, you're going to get what's called an ISO file. What that is it's a duplicate of what the CD data is for that bootable CD or DVD. So do you have a DVD burner? Because you're going to need one. Most likely, that's the easiest way. I like to give you an easy way. You're on Windows XP, so the problem is Windows XP does not know how to work with ISO files, and if you're not familiar with them, you're not going to be able to do anything with it. So there was a program, and I'm going to do a quick search here, and again, this is going to be in the chat, the show notes for episode number 348. The program was called CD Burner XP. That's the one that comes to mind, because you're on Windows XP and you need to be able to burn an ISO file. It still exists. This is wonderful. CD Burner XP is free to download and install on your computer. There it is. cdburnerxp.se. By downloading this program, installing it on your XP machine, now you can open that ISO file as a DVD image into that program on Windows XP. Windows XP will then, you'll need to insert a blank DVD disc and then run through the burner process. It's very similar if you're familiar with like Nero or perhaps X3B on Linux, something like that, or Bracero. It's similar to those applications, but it allows you to take that ISO file and turn it into an actual working DVD. Then, if you don't need anything on your computer, fine, proceed to just boot from the DVD and install the operating system. However, if you do need to back up, make sure you do back up before you go through the process of installing Point Linux or any Linux distro, because it's a destructive process. It's going to wipe out Windows XP and replace it with itself, and it will be a fresh, clean install. So your computer will be good as new, but you'll lose all of your programs, all of your documents and pictures and videos and everything, internet favorites. Think about the things that you use, email, contacts, all that stuff. So you need to back those things up if you need those. And then go through the process and you're good to go. If you're stuck, absolutely, let us know. But that program, CD Burner XP, will convert your ISO image that you've downloaded into a DVD that you can boot from. So, thanks for the question. Good luck. Love to hear that you've made it onto Linux. So, we're just right about out of time. It's hard to believe. Don't forget that next Tuesday night we're going to be launching that music video. Very, very excited about that. Going to be a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun putting this thing together. So, and I've been there for pretty much every moment. I know that some viewers, based on my blog at baldnerd.com. Some viewers have sent in videos as well that are going to be included in the music video. If you missed that, you can still get over to baldnerd.com if you're really quick with the camera and send us the video track. I'll probably still accept them up until the point where I just can't, because we've maxed out our video. Basically, we've got about 100 hours of video condensed into 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, how do you like that? This has been a fun night. Time flies by every time. Make sure you get onto our website, Category5TV. And thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for being a part of the chat room. Actually, WebSock is now a part of the chat room.
Is it? This is a new thing?
New
it's like WinSock/website, kind of hybrid.
Yep, WebSock has now been born.
We need to develop, I think, a Category 5 dictionary. It's going to have words like beta, where the distinction between beta and beta is made very, very clear. Where my software is not my fish, for example.
That would be a really good idea.
Things like WebSock. We're going to have to come up with a definition.
We're going to have to come up...
We're still working on it.
A website that you have trouble pronouncing. Call it a WebSock. So you just cover it up.
Oh, okay.
With sock.
We'll refine that. We'll refine that.
Come up with something different.
Well, this is Category 5 Technology TV. That's our website, category5.tv. My name's Robbie Ferguson.
And my name's Erika Lalonde.
I am looking forward to seeing you again next Tuesday night, so don't miss it.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Have a great week, everybody.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Category 5 TV broadcasts live from Barrie, Ontario, Canada every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on demand or through cable TV, check out the local show times in your area at category5.tv and find out when you can watch live and interact in the community chat room. Category 5 is a production of Prodigy Digital Solutions and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.5 Canada. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.